We are live in social VR platform Facebook Spaces, and I'm here with the Outsider, aka Winston,
Hi
and
there.
the Sabby Life. I'm sure you've heard me talk about these two before because we learned all about the Mona Lisa and Da Vinci, and the Outsider. You haven't, besides the luau, right? When I showed the luau room, or when you were doing that museum that you were talking about, the
Hmm.
Outsider and Sabby. So now you can actually meet him here in Facebook Spaces because he is at AWE. And as you all know, Sabby and I were part of the social XR experience, and we've dealt with some technical difficulties today, and I know that you're going to do your live tomorrow, and that's a part
Yes.
of VR that's so groundbreaking. There's so many new things, and as long as you have the outsider with you, Winston, you'll be fine. Right? I mean, he's always the savior. I think he came and saved everybody. Um, the tech
I should
guru.
have wings back here, but I don't.
So, Winston, tell us a little bit about your background.
So I actually, I do I did TV engineering for a while, and my dad also was a TV engineer while I was young. So I got a lot of background in doing, media. Excuse the forklift one by, but I got a lot of experience doing, live television and engineering, like electrical engineering and RF engineering and all that. So that was kind of my things that I was doing about for the last 3 years, and then now I've kind of want to switch to doing more VR and programming and more of that kind of type stuff. So that's kind of where my focus is at the moment, is doing that. But it's, you have to kind of balance it because it's, I don't really have a full-time job doing VR. I still only have parts. Can you guys see me? Because I just lost graphics.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you're good. You're doing great. I mean,
Okay, I'll just play like it's still working, but my video card is locked up on me.
he's actually hacked the internet. He knows how to do that. So if anyone's hiring and they need a problem solver, Winston is your
That's me.
man. And
This is
Sabby,
what a real wizard. This is what a real wizard looks like.
yeah,
They have a beard, It's
Yeah.
it must be. I don't know. We're very big fans, as you can see, and he
Oh,
is
thank you.
live at AWA. And then there's Sabby, who how are you doing? Every time you're always doing some groundbreaking stuff, these kind of technical difficulties always end up coming in. How do you deal with it?
You just take it in stride and drink your chamomile tea.
Everybody, did you hear that? Chamomile tea. All right. Oh,
Yeah. The wizard disappeared.
and he comes
he's
back. The magic is here. He probably fixed it in that quick time.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I did or not.
All right, let's see.
It's still not rendering.
It might be that Wi-Fi.
I don't
Yeah.
know. My computer
They-
just decided it wasn't going to do it anymore.
Well, you can even just close your eyes because we just want to know about what is that thing on your shirt? It says Neos because you look fine.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Neos is basically a metaverse platform where users can create as well as socialize, and both those things can take place at the same time. So there's, you can do collaborative multiplayer sessions where you have friends that are creating or bringing in assets and placing them, as well as yourself that is doing the same thing. So it gives you a way to interact in more advanced ways with people than just walking around as an avatar, or something that you've worked and it's a published avatar or something like that, a published piece of content. So you can author as well as
Socialize.
publish.
Yeah,
Socialize.
it's unbelievable because when I was in there with Sabby brought me in there after we went through our whole catalog of amazing tilt brush for 365 days, 500 hours a day, I don't know, of tilt brush. Right. So she's dealing with this whole VR
She should.
drawing and
You should add up how many hours it is.
oh
and,
my gosh.
that should be the actual number.
Seriously.
It's the hours.
And by the way, she created this challenge.
Yeah.
She created this challenge on her own. Okay. So that's hard work right there. Wake up, world. So, the one thing I will say is that we were in there and having fun, and we were like in this newsroom, and then she's like she's like, oh, you got to come see my world. Hello, she created a world. This world I created, it's called a luau with the help of outsider, like putting it all together. I was like, no, you did not create a world. So I went over there and I walked in. It was almost like a Ready Player One experience because I literally jumped into a portal that brought me into what? Voila, Winston and Sabby's live Twitch stream. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a second, we're in Neos VR live in Twitch and we're talking back and forth. It was just, can you talk about that? Like, what is that? That was so awesome. I had the best time ever.
Yeah. So he basically brings in the stream. Oh, is he talking? Oops.
I'm not.
Oh,
I have a forklift driving by again.
Oh, we can't hear it.
Oh, okay.
So
we can't hear it at all.
Oh, that's good. But right now here at the expo, they're actually this today is like to put together all the exhibits in the exhibit hall, and we are in the exhibit hall at the moment.
Oh,
There's forklifts running around and stuff getting built. So yeah.
Fun. Well, luckily we can't hear it. Talk about
Streamception. She wanted to know about like how you bring the stream inside of Neos. So like you can see the stream right here live. You know.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can. I'm sorry. You're I didn't realize I was getting talked to because I can't see the facial cues of her hand gesture or anything.
He's glitched out.
We have a lot of fun,
Wi-Fi.
obviously. What's that?
I need to like restart and rejoin or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
So bringing streams in and that kind of stuff. So we actually have I don't know if anybody out there uses this like a VLC player to watch videos and stuff, but we actually use the same library inside of Neos, and so that allows for the same kind of content you would play in VLC to be played inside of VR and Neos. So you can just bring in the HLS streams for like Twitch or something like that, or your own streaming platform that you choose, and that can be brought in as a piece of content that can be shown in the world. And so like Sabby's stream, you can bring in and have it be like a streamception where you're actually watching the stream while you're streaming, and then it loops and that kind of thing. Or you could have somebody else's stream and you have other people who are watching that stream, and then another streamer there that's then restreaming. So there's
wow, you could
that
restream that way. I mean, it was literally, I walked in and I felt like I was talking to the computer. So we have this Twitch stream open, and Sabby has a large following that is very active. So we're literally going back and forth, and I'm a fox.
It's not that huge.
By the way, I'm a fox avatar. It is. And I'm a fox, and they're like, who's that fox? And I'm like, hey, that's me. I'm a fox right now, And I normally look like always
Foxy
yeah.
Nava.
And then I was like, I'm Foxy Nava. This is a fun way to do things. I was loving it. I had a blast. I mean, because the closest thing that I have to any type of interaction is Facebook Live, because Facebook Live brings in the 2D comments and the whole thing, but I can't actually watch people type. I don't know. It was like something different I hadn't seen. So I thought that was really cool.
We had a chat
Mhm.
text inside of Neos VR, right, of the live stream.
Right.
So it's really cool because you can make it huge and kind of put it wherever you want, and everyone that's in that world can see it, and they even start interacting with the viewers and talking and responding, and
I know I was.
It's really fun.
So it becomes like a multi-person stream, kind of like some of the just chatting streams that you see on Twitch, where there's a group of people and they're all sitting there talking and kind of interacting with the chat. But you could do that inside of a VR space as well, and it actually works better because everybody can see the chat if you put it like huge in the world and place it somewhere where it's visible. But one of our members, Bomb Bitman, actually made an interface from Twitch chat to a REST API for Neos to look at, and made it where it would display inside of Neos. So like that's all user generated content that was created inside of Neos without any extra plugins from the Neos team side of it. So that's all stuff that users can kind of create and build their own systems that kind of bring content like that in. So
mind blown.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew that when I saw that,
Any-
I'm like, I want to do that. I want to do that a lot. I want to do that a lot. That was a fun time because we were in a portal. We were doing this in a portal. We were just like, we weren't sitting at a table. We were in a portal. So it was really cool. So there's so many different tools of social VR out there. And, you've got Neos VR, you have Facebook Spaces. And Neos VR is very much developed. You can know a lot of developing. You have to know a little bit of developing to create. But the community inside is like my favorite. So what I love was like, what was it? Angel. He was like
Ages.
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 Such an awesome guy. The lawyer man.
Business lawyer.
Business lawyer. He's so funny. Those two just sat down and started
great.
talking to me, and I didn't know exactly what they were saying because some of the terms they were using were pretty like, wow, you guys know a lot more than me kind of terms, but I could understand where they were going with it, which was pretty much you guys are going to, they create it and then they can give it to other people or sell it to other people. These like simplistic tools that for me would not be simple to create.
Yeah.
So the thing is this kind of economy has already shown up in games prior to Neos, and the one that I think of the most is like Second Life. Second Life had this concept
for
where
sure.
people would generate content and it would have like code and stuff that made it work, but you would buy the whole asset pack and then you could place it into your rented space that you had inside of Second Life. So these kind of concepts are just coming back, but in a different way. And I think that
It makes sense.
Philip Rosendahl really wanted to capture that inside of High Fidelity, and I'm not sure. I know he's taking it to more of a business level at this time because of the money and the just the consumer level stuff isn't there yet.
Right.
There's not enough users to make it viable for them. And with us, we don't really have to count on that as much. We have people in the community that like supporting us through our Patreon and buying Neos credits, which is our money that we're going to use. It's actually a cryptocurrency based on top of Ethereum, and so it's basically on top of the Ethereum blockchain.
And
so it adds.
And does it have anything to do with Kentucky Fried Chicken?
So KFC is actually
literally KFC.
they're speaking of the KFC. The other one's NCR, so Neos credit, and then the other one is KFC, and that was it was a play on Kentucky Fried Chicken. But it's also a fake currency, and I think it stands for something else. I can't remember what the acronym was at this time, but it does mean something else.
Okay.
But obviously, since it lined up, it was kind of like a joke in the community.
I assumed. I loved it. And now there was like a filter on Instagram that had the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And so every time I see Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think of Neos VR.
That's funny. Uh-oh, we're stealing their branding.
The Colonel is here.
We're gonna get in trouble.
No, you're not. You're not stealing their branding. It's an inside joke, so it's not like you're branding Neos VR.
No, of course not.
So, Sabby, what are you working on now?
What I'll be streaming tomorrow is the Last Supper. I'm still working on that, but I'm back on it. Wow. And we actually have a project going ourselves for VR art streamers. A support group, a community that we're building, Discord and all that kind of stuff for all of the streaming platforms. So, if you're interested or you want to learn how to stream or you want support or you just want to watch it for entertainment, we now have that, and you can search us VR Art Live. Yeah.
Okay, where are you at?
VR Art Live?
Yeah.
On Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
Okay.
And Discord is going to be our main hub for now, because we're going to do all kinds of
I think that's a great place to
stuff.
be, because really with Discord, like I feel like you've got that niche there, a lot of people don't focus in those areas, especially, and there's a lot of people coming up in there that want to learn about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of groups forming there.
I also find that it really helps you connect with your community a lot better because you have that real-time engagement, and you're able to talk back and forth. And that's one of the things that we do with like Neos right now. We have the Neos Discord, and people come in and they ask questions, and they interact with everybody, and people that know something give help to those that don't. And it's the whole like big brother kind of helping everybody move forwards to get to their,
you've got a great community
wherever they want to go.
You definitely have a great community in there.
They're so helpful.
So helpful.
Yeah.
I love it. I need to go in there. I just need I need Foxy is Foxy, but her hands are a little too big for me. I gotta learn how to make avatars or something.
Foxy avatar.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun to build avatars. There's different ways of doing it. You can get some that people have made for VR chat and stuff like that, and upload them in, or build them. And you have to use Blender to do that.
Yeah.
I still need to show Sabby how to do that. We want to do a workshop with her and help her out.
I want to watch it. Can I sit in there and watch? That's what I want to do. I want to get. I bet we could do that. That'd be fun. So, what are you excited? What are you excited to see at AWE? What brings you there?
I just want to walk around and people that are here, and see what people have in the new VR tech and applications that they're building. So it's kind of cool. I already got to kind of walk around the exhibit, even though it's still being built, and kind of see some of the prep that they're doing. And I think there's a 3D scanning rig for like standing inside of and getting your person scanned.
Whoa!
And hopefully that would be really cool, because I'd like to get that done, since I have my full body avatar actually be me. So that'd be neat.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Forget about having to draw avatars, unless you want to be someone else. Which
exactly.
Oh yeah, actually that wouldn't be bad. I want to just take my Facebook Spaces
cool,
one everywhere. I love my FB avatar.
It'd be interesting to be able to pull these out. I wonder if that's possible. Oh, shoot, I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's like some guidelines.
Well, we were just kidding.
And wizards.
Yeah, just kidding.
We have to help him sometimes.
The wizard. What about
I get too wizardy.
So have you heard any of the keynotes or anything today?
I haven't. I did kind of stand in on one earlier and just kind of watch what was going on, but wasn't paying too much attention. They were showing some kind of what was it? Like VR to help people, engineers and stuff, or people work at like oil refineries or something like that. So they were kind of showing like the interaction between like showing the person in VR how these things work, and then showing them in real life. So yeah.
Have you
just using it for training purposes?
Have you tried out the Oculus Quest? Either one of you?
I haven't. I want to. There was one here. One of the ladies you were talking to earlier, I brought one with her. I think she was.
Okay, you need to get with Eva. She'll let you use hers for sure.
Okay,
Eva Leon.
Yeah. I was going to, but I was too busy like being the wizard over here with the internet, so I didn't get a chance.
Big shout out to the wizard for
I'm changing my name now.
I think it should be. I mean, it starts with a W. It makes more sense for your name, right?
Hey, there you go. I like it.
Winston the Wizard.
Yep. All right, renaming, new branding.
What about Winzard? Because you're like winning all the time.
Winzard?
Maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
You heard it here first in Facebook Spaces, my social VR life. So again, we're here live, and thank you so much for everything you did, Winston. You really are a wizard, and you're always helping people out. So VR for good, right here. And obviously,
I do it for the glory.
And Sabby, like you and Sam, literally the hardest two artists working. Actually, there's a lot of hardworking artists.
She built her world. But, actually, I needed to say that. She did most of the blender and texturing on all the models that are in her world herself, and I basically just helped her step by step do all those different things. In Blender,
yeah,
so
no, I mean we know that she does all the work, yeah, but it's hard to.
It's hard to separate that because I'm the wizard here.
Right? No, so when I say that, I mean like I know.
He guided me.
Yes.
So the reason why I said that is because I know that you're creating, you're doing the art side of it. So the I would say like the developing, but I know it's not developer. It's like the Unity, the developing, like putting it into the world, knowing the right size, the specs. Like that's the part that I think like a lot of artists
Mm,
have a challenge with because it's not easy, you know? It's like when social media people when we were just marketers before we did social media,
mm,
now we have to be like videographers, photographers, create art
yeah.
ourselves, do all these like things, you know?
Right.
You're evolving.
And
It's a lot of work.
so yeah,
Yeah.
modeling is definitely one of those layers, and then getting it into to Neos is another. I usually just build the models in Blender without really even thinking about scale,
Mm-hmm.
and just make it look the way I want inside of Blender and bring it in, and then in there scale it to whatever dimension that I feel fits my avatar's height. And so I just kind of work off of how I feel in VR, as a person walking around in there. And so I forget about all the scale and all that kind of stuff and just work an arbitrary scale.
Must be that
I
TV
actually
engineer background.
I've been actually very interested in 3D modeling before when I was younger. When I was like, I don't know, 14, 15,
Wow.
I was playing around with it.
With
And
what?
it was more
Looking at
for,
the pin.
Oh yeah, get rid of it.
yeah, so I was playing around with like other applications. I don't think Blender was that popular or easy to use back then, but I know it was still around, I think, in some form or another.
Wow.
And so I definitely had played around with it, played with 3D, and I never really did anything with it. And then, I went on to other games, like Gary's Mod was another one that I played in that similarly has
Unbelievable.
some of the same features as Neos does. And then Neos was like, oh my gosh, this mixes everything I've ever wanted to do in sort of a game space, where we have the collaborative and actually able to build props and stuff in VR. So it added the VR aspect. Because in Gary's Mod, we still had like, visual programming and scripting and stuff like that. And the community could hang out together and build. So we had all that. I just didn't have the VR aspect of it. So
But you didn't
yeah.
know, but you did,
Anyway.
And now look at you. The
Yeah.
VR wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I practiced a lot of like trigonometry and math in Gary's Mod, and then that just applies into Neos
Trigonometry.
as well. So. Mm-hmm.
That was a
Yeah,
I
tough
did
yeah,
very
one.
no.
well. I did very well. And how did you make that that face?
Up in one, the left one up and the right one down.
Yeah,
Left one up. How did you do that?
Here, look.
Left one
oh,
up?
because
So it'll be like this.
you're on the.
Oh, I'm on the Rift. Are you on the Rift? Or you're on the Vive?
No, she's on the.
See, yeah, that's
I'm
why
on the Rift.
that's why I never taught you all of them. I just taught. Is that it?
She's so partial.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I love these guys. Are they the best? So we just always have a good time every time we get in. Me and Sabby. So, but great addition
lots of
right
laughs.
here. So yeah, I'm definitely 100% check her out tomorrow. She'll be whether you stream live from there or not, you should still do it because I'll watch you. I'll stream her live in here.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the
Yes, I
wizard
think
will
they'll
make
be
it
set up
happen. Yeah, the
tomorrow,
wizard.
so-
The wizard is
Yeah.
here. Of course it will.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
taking
gonna
care of
get
it.
them all set up, and we'll be
I'm
ready to
taking-
go tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, that's so great.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
doing different things here. When you're doing different things with
Mhm.
technology, it's going to happen. But we just got to all
Mhm.
be patient, and people watching just understand that you're going to be here, and we're kind of setting the baseline and making it easier in the future.
My family actually did. Like we'd volunteer for a kinetic sculpture race in Eureka, California.
You're so cool.
And we'd help out streaming every year. So we'd like set up streams, and we just use different types of gear to do it. Like we'd even take out, like when me and my dad worked for the TV station, we'd take the live truck out and use it as a way to like get the stream. And it was just crazy because the terrain and all the different locations. It's like a 42-mile long race that happens through all the little towns along the coast there.
Wow.
So it's intense, and so it was a lot of fun doing that. There's a lot of complications to getting like internet, getting streams working, and all this kind of stuff. So it's not my first time dealing with like doing this kind of stuff, or you're, trying to get stuff working on the spur of the moment.
Yeah, on that note, like
Yeah.
I literally, I should just write up something on it. I kind of did already, but the one thing about going live at conferences that I've learned is one, you should always be plugged into the wall. I can't say it enough times. Lisa Kentucky told me this tip. It was the best tip she ever gave me, to be plugged into the wall, one, and then two, the batteries for your hand controllers.
Right.
Yeah. Always be ready with the cords. I don't know why they don't have more plugs there, but
I think what I'm gonna do, I'll put in our Discord the VR Lite, our VR Live Discord, and I'll put in all the different things you should make sure you have and do.
Yeah,
So
I have a thing too. Like I have a thing too that I wrote because
we can
but I bet you
collaborate.
no, but I'm saying like my stuff's like so basic. I bet you yours is the game changer. So I'd love to write up something for you, like put it add it to my blog as something, because you're an expert.
We could work on
I'd love to.
Well, let's hook up and do like a Google Doc, and we'll just start sitting there writing.
Oh my
stuff,
gosh.
And then at the end of it, we'll have something cool. So I'll be.
I just remember
education.
It's all you do is learn in VR, and then one day someone's just going to come
Helping
in.
each other. Yeah. I think that is so important for artists to go live, because then we are helping each other learn, and not just each other, but the new people that are coming in. So that's one of the main reasons that I even go live and why I'm on Twitch, is to share my techniques and to answer questions and help be there, receive that new, generation of people coming in, like going into VR art. So that's what my Twitch is about. That's what the VR art live is about. So if you have any interest in streaming,
I love it,
or have any questions, definitely look us up. Yeah.
I love it.
Cool.
So that's it for now, and we'll definitely be back from AWE. I'm definitely going to be streaming live your stuff. Somehow I'll stream it in here. And
okay, I can get you the link and everything once it goes. Well, it'll just be
yeah,
on my
I'll
channel,
find it.
So.
You know me. I'll get it.
She
finds it everywhere.
What can I say? Yeah, one time when I was interviewing her, like backtracking, she's like, "Oh, that picture! I haven't seen that picture in a long time. Remember that?" Anyway, we're gonna find out some old TV engineer races from Winston's side, so keep posted. He's like, "I'm deleting her as a friend ASAP." All right. Well, thanks again so much for giving your time. And Winston, I hope you don't feel like throwing up after that whole graphics thing. And have a great night.
No. I've been staring at the picture of Facebook Spaces loading inside of the Oculus loading screen. So it's been a pleasure.
Wow. I'm sure you're feeling all the presents you need. So again, live from AWE. Use the hashtag AWE19. And I'm here with Sabby, the Sabby Life, and the outsider, Winston Lowe. All right, talk to you soon. Feel like we're hanging